Everyone, welcome back to our Azure DevOps learning series. On the last session, we have learned about the different templates which Azure DevOps provided to us and how we can use those templates to make our task pretty easier by passing just the information about your project. Today, we are going to be on to the next step of creating our own template. I mean, on customized template. Okay, so I will start with the very simple pipeline. So if you remembered when we did a pipeline, CI pipeline creation, at that time we have selected and created one of our pipeline for our .NET project. So if you can see this one, and if you remember, we have created a very basic pipeline of doing our code to be built and then execute some testing also. In this pipeline, all the information that has been passed for these different tasks are the variables in the pipeline. It means it has been created, defined, and then used within this particular pipeline. I'm going to be use the similar steps and the task that has been defined in this pipeline to make it as a template, because if you have a similar project with just changing or having a different code base but you still want to do the same NuGet restore, you still want to execute the test scenarios that you have created on your project, your pipeline will remain the same. So why to do the same activity, same CI again and again? You can create a template and reuse the template. That will help you to reduce your work and just use the template by passing the parameter instead of a variable. So let me show you how these steps can be converted as a reusable template. Now you can see here I've created another folder with the name as template. Under that, created a .NET build YAML file. And in this YAML file, I will first show you all the steps. So if you can see the steps, these are all the same steps that we have used in our previous CI pipeline. Only difference between the CI pipeline and the template is the variable which has been replaced with the parameters. Now you can see on the top I have not defined the variable. Here I have defined it as a parameter, which means that it can be passed when we are going to be invoke or use this template. So here I have defined three parameters that is going to be used in my template, and how I can refer these parameters is with the parameters dot parameter name that you want to be used for a particular task. All other things I have kept same in order to avoid any confusion. And now jump to how I can use this template. See, there is no trigger, nothing. This is just a template which contain the steps, which contain my parameters information. Now I need to be use this .NET build.yaml template, which is falling under to the template as a folder to my CI pipeline. I have created a small CI pipeline with the name as parameter pipeline for this demo. This is the actual pipeline that we are using, with having a trigger that is going to be used. I'm using the image as a window latest, and under the stage for a job to be built. Now here, instead of defining all the steps, I define that I want to use my template and with the different parameters that I want to pass. Now you can see like how beneficial this is. I don't have to be write the same steps again and again. I don't have to be pass the parameter managed or pass the variables to be manage it locally for one or a multiple pipeline. I just have to refer the template which is having all my steps that I want for this pipeline by just passing the parameters that I needed. That's all. As soon as we are going to create the pipeline for this, On the backend, it will take all the steps that has been defined in the template and execute our pipeline. So let's see how the pipeline execution will look like. Let me run the pipeline again one more time, and I will show you. You can see our stage has been created with the name as build. Under that, as soon as it got started, it will first checking my parameterized template. Okay, based upon the parameterized template that has been passed on, it will create all the tasks right here. Now you can see it start reading all the template perspective, the task that has been defined, and then created all the tasks. It was not there in my original pipeline. However, it's been available in the template that I have defined. And then it started similar steps into the pipeline that we have created initially for our CI perspective. But this time it has been done using the template, and we can reuse the same template as needed for multiple pipeline. I don't have to create this pipeline again and again for the different code base or a repo, which is usually been there as part of our big project or a big work that you're working on day-to-day basis. So this template helps you to reduce your work, to streamline the process, and reuse as and when needed. Thank you so much. On the upcoming session, we will learn more about a different type of pipelines to be go with, and later on to go with the artifacts as well. Thank you.